The air in the missing person's house hung thick with the cloying sweetness of roasted peanuts. A smell Detective Miles Corbin had come to dread. It was the third case this month. Another family vanished without a trace, leaving behind only the telltale sign, a glistening 5-gallon vat of peanut butter in their pristine kitchen. Miles knelt, his gloved hand tracing the slick, creamy surface. No fingerprints, of course, just the unsettling uniform ripple of disturbed butter. Each time the same brand, Nutty Butters, though no such company existed in any commercial database. And each time the same unnerving silence from the neighbors, who claimed to have seen nothing, heard nothing. His partner, Detective Jane Miller, gagged slightly from the doorway. Seriously, Miles? This is beyond messed up. First the Millers, then the Chings, now the Davies. What kind of sicko does this? Miles stood, his gaze sweeping the immaculate kitchen, a disturbing contrast to the horror brewing within. That's what I'm trying to figure out, Jane. There's no forced entry, no struggle. It's like they just evaporated. He remembered the other houses, the half-eaten breakfast on the table, the child's toy dropped mid-play. Normal lives abruptly halted. Back at the precinct, the lab results on the peanut butter were even more baffling. Miles, you're not going to believe this, the lead forensic tech, Dr. Eris Thorne, announced, his face pale. The composition of the peanut butter, it's not just peanuts. There are trace elements of human tissue. Miles felt a cold knot tighten in his stomach. Human tissue? What are you talking about, Eris? Amino acids, complex proteins, even minute traces of cellular structures? Thorne explained, pointing to a holographic display of complex molecular diagrams. It's highly degraded, but it's consistent with human remains. And the DNA, Miles, we've managed to extract partial profiles. It matches the missing families. The words hit Miles like a physical blow. The Millers, the Chengs, the Davies, they weren't just missing. They were the peanut butter. A horrifying realization crawled up his spine, turning his blood to ice. He stumbled back, the sickly sweet smell of peanuts suddenly assaulting his senses, a smell that now reeked of human horror. Jane, who had been listening in, gasped, covering her mouth. You're saying they were ground up, blended? It appears so, Thorne said grimly, and the sheer volume. It suggests a significant biomass. It's not just a few people, it's the entire families reduced to this. Miles stared at the swirling, creamy concoction in the evidence jar. The smooth texture, the nutty aroma. It was a perverse mockery of a common household staple. He thought of the empty houses, the undisturbed lives, and the silence. No screams, no struggle, just the insidious, silent transformation. How, Eris? How is this even possible? Miles whispered, his voice hoarse. Thorne shook his head, his brow furrowed with a mixture of scientific curiosity and profound revulsion. We're not sure. There's no known mechanism for this kind of rapid, complete biological degradation. It's almost alchemical. The next week was a blur of frantic research and dead ends. Miles and Jane visited countless food processing plants, consulted with chemists and cult experts, but nothing explained the Nutty Butters phenomenon. The terrifying truth remained. People were being transmuted into peanut butter, and whoever was behind it was operating with chilling efficiency. Then, a break. A tip from a terrified ex-employee of a defunct agricultural machinery company led them to a remote, abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of town. The air inside was thick with the inescapable scent of peanuts. Miles's stomach churned. They found it, in the center of the vast, dusty space, a colossal custom-built machine. Gleaming stainless steel, a maze of pipes and churning gears, all culminating in a massive open hopper. And beside it, stacks of empty 5-gallon vats, each bearing the familiar Nutty Butters label. As Miles approached, a faint rhythmic hum emanated from the machine, even in its idle state. He peered into the hopper. At the bottom, a faint reddish-brown residue clung to the metal. He ran his gloved finger along it, then brought it close to his nose. The sweet, sickly smell of roasted peanuts, but underneath it, a faint, metallic tang. Blood. Jane let out a choked cry, pointing to a series of grainy surveillance photos tacked to a corkboard near the machine. Faces. The missing families. Their smiles frozen in time, oblivious to the monstrous fate that awaited them. They brought them here, Jane whispered, her voice trembling. They fed them into this thing. Miles felt a wave of nausea. He imagined the scene. Families, perhaps drugged, perhaps simply lured and brought to this industrial abattoir. The whirring of gears, the silent, horrifying transformation. The taste of roasted peanuts now filled his mouth. A phantom taste, metallic and sickening. The hum of the machine grew infinitesimally louder, a low thrum that seemed to vibrate through the very floor. Miles backed away slowly, his eyes fixed on the hopper. The realization wasn't just that they were made into peanut butter, it was that the process was deliberate, calculated, and ongoing. The Nutty Butters wasn't just a brand, it was a horrifying enterprise. He looked at Jane, her face ashen. The case was far from over.